At which point did you take the leap? When did you realize you were an entrepreneur? I'm 25 years old at the moment. I'm reaching a breaking point. I worked my off at every company I have ever worked for. I always was the top performer and I always had these entrepreneurial tendencies. Started a e-com business when I was 20. Made like 2K a week in a few weeks. But closed it because I was miserable. I just started my new job as an account manager at a cleaning wholesale, but I'm at a breaking point. I think I need to take the leap. I just can't work for someone else anymore. I always put 100% of my energy in the company I work for. But it's all irritations. All I do is analyze the business, coming up with better ways to do it, and realizing it's a waste of time working for so little money. Does this sound familiar to any of you? Edit. I don't know if it is scientifically valid, but 90% of my family has a business. Maybe it's in my veins. Mine came in the form of realizing I wasn't being paid what I'm worth and never would be. I put in longer hours, took on harder tasks, solved all the problems, and was not promoted for it, but kept in place. For me, it's not about control of everything, but being able to actually benefit from all the hard work that I'm expected to do. I would rather see myself completely fail out on my own versus spend the rest of my life hoping that I got a lucky break or an opportunity to end up high enough in a company to have the kind of life I want. I now have choices, and yes, I work way more, and sometimes being a decision maker is not easy. But I would make it 1,000,000 times over. Nice post history.
I agree that business could be in your veins. As a kid, I remember how impressed I was when my grandfather, dad and mom started their own businesses. I think when you're around entrepreneurs, then you really get to think like one and working for someone causes frustration. Follow your gut. What business would light you up so you can find fulfillment? Even if you need to start the business on the side while you work temporarily. Do what brings you joy. Good luck. And to answer your question, for me it was when I could no longer sacrifice my values and who I was for a paycheck. It wasn't good for my health or heart. It was hard, but I did it. But mine came from someone screwing me over for thousands of dollars. I was working as a writer. It was a solid relationship. But then he just left the country and left us all without pay or notice. This was also a personal friend. So it was an excruciating ordeal. Trying to make sure he was okay. Balancing our worry for him over our outrage that he was trying to rip us all off. On our last phone call, he was bouncing off the walls, all over the place, and mentioned that he just opened a new content agency and wanted me to run it. I knew this would never happen, but it planted a seed, or really flipped a light switch. If this total flake could do it, maybe I could too. I hung up, called a friend and said, let's start a content creation agency. He loved the idea, and I thought I needed a partner. But after a few weeks he realized he was just too busy to commit. And I realized I could totally do it on my own. It was a shift in attitude. More than anything, just believing that the possibility had legs, that it had potential, that it could succeed, and that I was capable of pulling it off. Within 2 weeks, I had a plan and had my first client, through referral from my friend who I had wanted to partner with. A friend from his gym, with 2 companies who needed social media, blogging, newsletters. I was in business almost overnight, and it hasn't stopped. Do it. You can always change gears. But do it, and start now. Don't let decades of self-doubt make you wait like I did. I should have done this years ago. But take note, no matter what you decide to do, it's all hard work. You have to love and embrace the hard work. Every damn day. Your attitude has to be, hell yeah, it's going to be another great work day. It can't be, just one more hour and I can go to the beach. You have to embrace the work wholeheartedly. To that end, once I decided to create my agency, I got to work, big time. I looked over all of my skills, and noted what I needed to improve. I noted what I needed to learn from scratch. Like newsletter design. I worked so damn hard all last fall. I was obsessed. Every waking moment I could. I was learning, watching videos, reading, learning software, learning Notion, then Trello, then finally settling on Monday as we grew to more clients. You just have to be willing to put the energy in all the little pockets of your business. Wow, it sounds like a cool revenge. Do you know what happened to your friend, customer, and his content agency?